In Loma Linda, California, one of the world's 5 blue zones where people regularly live past 100, resides a remarkable 104-year-old heart doctor. While most physicians his age retired decades ago, Dr. Wham continued performing surgery until 95 and still advises patients today. His secret? A twice-daily eating pattern centered around foods that most Americans drastically underconsume. When researchers studied his habits, they found his heart function matched that of someone half his age. Today, I'll break down his exact daily menu. Did you know that heart disease remains the #1 killer in America, claiming more lives than all forms of cancer combined? This is one reason why most Americans won't live past 80. This silent epidemic is transforming what should be our golden years into a medical nightmare for millions of Americans. What's truly shocking is how early this process begins. The average American's heart starts failing decades before it should, with arterial plaque beginning to accumulate as early as childhood. While medical technology has advanced tremendously, our approach to heart disease remains fundamentally flawed. Rather than addressing what causes our arteries to clog in the first place, modern medicine primarily treats symptoms after they appear. This reactive approach creates a never-ending cycle of medications and procedures, stents, bypasses, and an ever-growing list of prescriptions that manage the problem without solving it. The numbers tell a troubling story. Despite our technological progress and billions spent on healthcare, heart disease rates continue to climb year after year. This upward trend reveals an uncomfortable truth. Our current medical strategies aren't effectively addressing the root causes of cardiovascular decline. What's happening inside our bodies? The standard American diet delivers a triple blow to our arterial health. First, it triggers inflammation throughout the circulatory system. Second, it accelerates oxidation, essentially rusting our blood vessels from the inside. And third, it promotes cholesterol buildup, narrowing the passageways that deliver oxygen to every cell in our body. Perhaps most alarming is how silently this damage accumulates. Research shows that most people's arteries can become 70% blocked before they experience any symptoms whatsoever. By the time chest pain or shortness of breath appears, the disease has already reached an advanced stage. This makes preventative action absolutely crucial, yet few Americans take meaningful steps early enough. The contrast between typical American outcomes and those in special regions called blue zones is striking. In places like Loma Linda, California, heart disease rates plummet dramatically, and residents routinely live vibrant, active lives well into their 90s. What do they know that the rest of America doesn't? This brings us to Dr. Wham, a medical pioneer whose unique approach challenges conventional cardiac care. What makes his perspective so valuable isn't just his medical expertise. It's the fact that he practiced heart surgery for over 75 years and lived to the remarkable age of 104. His longevity wasn't luck or good genes. It was the result of specific daily habits that protected his heart decade after decade. While most centenarians are celebrated for simply reaching triple digits, Dr. Wham was performing heart surgeries well into his 90s. But perhaps his most revolutionary contribution wasn't what he did in the operating room. It was what he refused to do in the dining room. What if skipping that most important third meal could actually add years to your life? For decades, nutritionists have insisted that 3 square meals plus snacks are essential for health. Yet Dr. Wham followed a dramatically different pattern, consuming just 2 meals daily at very specific times: breakfast at 10 a.m. and dinner at 4 p.m. This wasn't just a preference. It was a disciplined practice he maintained for most of his adult life. This approach flies directly in the face of conventional nutritional wisdom, especially for older adults who are often encouraged to eat protein-rich meals throughout the day to prevent muscle loss. But Dr. Wham's results suggest we might need to reconsider these recommendations. The science behind his meal timing is fascinating. By limiting his eating window to just 6 hours each day, Dr. Wham was practicing what researchers now call time-restricted eating, a form of intermittent fasting with profound cardiovascular benefits. Studies show this eating pattern can significantly reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, 2 major contributors to arterial damage and heart disease. His daily routine was equally strategic. Rising at 5 a.m., Dr. Wham would hydrate with water, but purposefully wait until 10 a.m. for his first meal. This provided his body with a full 16-hour fasting period every day, a practice now supported by research showing that overnight fasting improves metabolic health and reduces heart disease risk. When breakfast time finally arrived, Dr. Wham kept it simple but nutritious. His typical morning meal consisted of whole wheat cereal with almond milk, sometimes adding fruits or nuts. This combination provided steady, sustained energy rather than the blood sugar spikes common with modern breakfast foods. Perhaps even more surprising was his early dinner timing. By eating at 4 p.m., Dr. Wham allowed his body to completely digest food before bedtime. This timing reduces nighttime stress on the heart, improves sleep quality, and gives the cardiovascular system extended rest, all critical factors for heart longevity. The results of these habits were nothing short of remarkable. Throughout his later decades, Dr. Wham maintained a cholesterol level of just 117, a number that left most cardiologists astonished. This reading falls far below the threshold where heart disease typically develops, offering powerful evidence that when we eat might be just as important as what we eat. Before we continue to keep this channel going, please hit the subscribe button. It truly makes a difference. Thank you. Beyond Dr. Wham's strategic eating schedule lay a more profound nutritional choice that truly set him apart from conventional medical practitioners. Midway through his lengthy career, he made a decision that many would consider radical. He eliminated all animal products from his diet completely. This commitment remained steadfast for over half his lifetime. In an era when most nutritionists insisted animal protein was essential for maintaining strength and vitality, Dr. Wham's plant-based approach raised eyebrows among his medical colleagues. After examining compelling research from the Cleveland Clinic, he adopted a more definitive stance than standard cardiac recommendations that often permit fish or lean poultry. The scientific evidence convinced him a low-fat vegan diet could both prevent heart disease and reverse existing arterial damage. This aligned with groundbreaking work by cardiologists like Dr. Dean Ornish and Dr. Esselstyn, who demonstrated that coronary artery disease, America's leading killer, could be effectively addressed through diet alone. His daily meals formed a nutritional fortress around a simple foundation. Breakfast featured hearty whole-grain cereal, its nutty texture complemented by creamy plant milk. Lunches incorporated vibrant, crisp vegetables, the satisfying crunch of broccoli florets and caramelized Brussels sprouts, alongside protein-rich legumes, nuts, and seeds. This Mediterranean-inspired approach delivered powerful nutrition without inflammatory effects. According to Dr. Wham, many physicians overlook how animal proteins themselves elevate cholesterol independently of their fat content. Even milk protein triggers cholesterol production in the liver, explaining why low-fat dairy doesn't necessarily protect the heart. To address nutrient concerns, he simply supplemented with vitamin B12, ensuring his nutritional needs were fully met. This straightforward dietary pattern supported his physical capabilities and mental acuity into his second century. Research confirms plant-based diets help maintain strength and cognitive clarity in elderly populations. Benefits Dr. Wham experienced firsthand. His favorite heart-protective food? Whole-grain wheat cereal with plant milk? A humble breakfast that delivered fiber, antioxidants, and heart-protective compounds that supported his cardiovascular function for over a century. Beyond diet, the Blue Zone. Secret to living past 100. That simple bowl of whole grains formed just one piece of a much larger longevity puzzle. What would surprise most medical professionals isn't just what Dr. Wham ate, but where he lived. In one of only 5 places on Earth where reaching 100 isn't exceptional, but expected. In Loma Linda, California, residents routinely outlive their fellow Americans by nearly a decade, creating a remarkable demographic anomaly that researchers have been studying for years. Unlike most American communities where health is viewed primarily as a personal responsibility, Loma Linda's Seventh-day Adventist population approaches well-being as a spiritual commitment. This unique perspective transforms everyday health choices from burdensome obligations into meaningful expressions of faith. When your community celebrates and reinforces healthy behaviors, maintaining them becomes dramatically easier, something Dr. Wham experienced firsthand throughout his century-long life. What truly set Dr. Wham apart wasn't just his longevity, but how he maintained purpose throughout his entire life journey. While many retired to leisure activities, Dr. Wham continued performing complex surgeries until age 74, an age when many struggle with basic tasks. Even more remarkably, he mentored medical students until he was 95, sharing wisdom accumulated over 3/4 of a century in medicine. This aligns perfectly with findings from the landmark Longevity Project study, which discovered that people who maintain meaningful work and stay productive throughout their lives consistently outlive their peers. Dr. Wham's approach to physical activity similarly defied conventional wisdom. Rather than forcing himself through grueling gym sessions, he incorporated natural, purposeful movement throughout his day. His regular gardening, stair climbing, and walking weren't exercise for exercise's sake. They were integrated aspects of a life built around natural movement. Studies now confirm that this kind of functional activity delivers significant cardiovascular benefits, especially for elderly populations. The surgeon's family connections provided another critical pillar, supporting his exceptional health span. His 65-year marriage to Barbara and deep relationships with their 5 children created the kind of social bonds that research shows can significantly reduce mortality risk. In fact, strong family networks rank among the most powerful predictors of longevity across all studied populations. Perhaps most counter to American culture was Dr. Wham's embrace of regular rest periods. The Adventist practice of Sabbath observance, a complete day of rest and spiritual renewal each week, provided consistent stress reduction throughout his life. This practice aligns perfectly with research showing how chronic stress accelerates cardiovascular aging, while regular restorative periods protect arterial health. What we've learned from Dr. Wham's century of wisdom is something profoundly hopeful. Heart disease doesn't have to be your destiny. The good news is that implementing his approach doesn't require radical lifestyle overhauls or expensive interventions. According to Dr. Wham's research, making simple dietary adjustments can yield remarkable results. Starting today, you can begin incorporating more whole grains, vegetables, and nuts into your daily meals. His recommended approach of 2 meals daily, a wholesome breakfast featuring whole wheat cereal and a vegetable-rich dinner, provides your cardiovascular system with optimal nutrition while allowing it crucial rest periods. Through Dr. Wham's example, we see that living beyond 100 with a healthy heart isn't just possible, it's achievable through consistent, informed choices about what you eat and when you eat it. Please check out our next video above. See you shortly in the next video.